Go. Hey, here's a quick finger update from that 514 high. You can see that downtrend line. This is 5-minute price bars here that I'm tracking. And the stock tracked the model nicely to the downside. We were looking for, 360 to 390 range. Hit that hidden retest at 370. Went through the vibration sequence. Broke that small degree downtrend line right here that you see, which set up a new vibration sequence at 394. A, B, C, D, E triggered the buy right here on this move today. I thought that would take a little while longer. I said to you guys yesterday, I didn't think the stock would start to move up till this afternoon. So, it got started earlier. Moving into this box, still underneath this, I'm going to make this a little bit thicker, still underneath this downtrend off the 514 and 515 highs in this 5-minute chart. When it moved up so sharply that it left behind a hidden retest at 395. It had gone through this whole vibration sequence at 394. So believe it or not, that makes a difference. So pretty clear setup. I don't have a strong opinion on whether or not the stock will break above this downtrend line in front of this last zone of weakness here. This is tomorrow, the 23rd. There's a couple different zones of weakness here on the 23rd. So if the stock stuck in the mud, trades sideways, it most likely just starts to come down. And, I would say it probably will see that 395 hidden retest level. If it overshoots, 370 is still on the board, although, that's complete because it was taken care of over here. So not really expecting. This is much more likely. Now, if the stock gaps up, if it's firm this afternoon and gaps up tomorrow in front of this zone of weakness, then this zone of weakness here can turn into the vibration sequence. In other words, it would look like this: A, B, C, D, and then it would set it up to take off. And then I still feel like we probably got some noisiness, both, Friday and Monday. So tomorrow and Monday still looks a little bit ragged to me. But then once you move toward these dates right here, that's my zone of strength, where I think the stock could move up to 580 to 615, which, if you guys remember, is what we were kind of had on the board here when it peaked on the 14th of May. So that's pretty much it from my side. Hope that helps. Good luck, you guys.
Bam, the man, tracking it. So there's his update. I tell you what, guys, he's fantastic, and everybody who's been following knows it. So that's about as good a finger forecast for the near term as you're going to get. So I love his stuff, and I'm happy I get to share it with you guys. So anyways, what's going on, fam? How we doing tonight? I'm tired. I'm not going to lie. I'm tired, but I'm powering through because there's just, it's Memorial Day weekend coming up. So too much good stuff to talk about. We gotta power through. My God, I'm watching, guys. It's getting spicy out there in the markets. It is getting really wild and, dare I say, scary for some with what's going on in the bond markets and how it's affecting everything else. So we're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to go through all that, as well as what Ham's getting ready to go meet Pam Bondi. He's getting ready to leave here soon, and just good stuff. It's all good stuff for those of us who've been anticipating and preparing. So that's what matters most. But before I get started, I gotta say hey to the peeps. What's up? I'm gonna shout out Rumble first tonight. Nate Dogg, what's going on? Lochtefeld over there on Rumble. What's going on, guys? Here in the Chizette on YouTube. Wago Waco, what's up? Numero uno tonight. US1, Cass Sink, Uncle Andy, Steve Bernard, MM, Jake Neville, Frank Anastasio, Shogun. Zach Galifianakis. I can never say his name right. Yoker, Victor Yara, Phil Zell, Stony Bones. What's going on? Darren Collins, Vin Man, The One, what to do? Scott Volkovich, damn it, Sean, Bob Wren, Pat Shigoya, Derek A, Michael Cantera, Agent Orange in the house tonight. Akira says the beers are on him. You better buy something good, Akira, because I think we're going to be able to afford it soon with this finger move. Just Mike, what's up? Joe Kramer, Kim Wiley, Big J Whore, Ace Holes Activate. Is that like Optimus Prime? Like Autobots roll out. Ace Holes Activate. I like it. I like it. Well, I'll take it. That's a good one. Marco Sanchez, what's going on? Dar Daddy, Linda Telly, how you doing? Bowtie Alex, Candace Morrison, God bless you. Good to see you. AC, some language I can't understand. Bought 2,000 shares today. That's awesome. Brett Montgomery reminding everybody, please like, share, subscribe. I appreciate it. If you're on X or Rumble, please follow. Greatly appreciate it, guys. If you're on X, you could repost it for me. That would be awesome. I greatly appreciate it. Bull flag asks Alan Krentz. Maybe. It might be. Dave R. A.D. Hopkins. Anything on GTI? They're still going through the receivership. I covered it the other night when there was news, but I don't have anything else new right now. So we just got to pray it gets the merger done. Matthew Kolar, what's up? Moody's in the house. How we doing? Pedro, you like the members live last night? Guys, whew. Last night members live was hot. I brought in Eric. We went 2 hours on conspiracies, on deep dive theological stuff, spiritual questions. It was fun. It was fun. It was long. I had so much fun. I had lost all track of time and stayed up till 1:30, and it was awesome. So, and honestly, that's what the members' lives are all about. Sometimes it's an update that I gotten ahead of time and I want to share with the members, and other times we just go off script. So super fun last night. Thanks to all the members who attended and watched. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So, all right, let's get moving through it, guys. So Ham's getting ready to leave, and he had Space Call tonight with was it Market Malone or something? I can't remember his name. I actually missed the call, but I heard he mostly played the hits, which I get it. He was talking to a new audience, but this guy has over 50,000 subs, and he was able to get Ham on and spread the news. This guy's big on quantum. So it's good. Retail unite. Retail United, let's spread the story further. Just get that information out there, get that education out there. I feel so blessed that we have Ham, we got Bam the Man, we got Pedro on our side. I feel like the finger community and GTII before that really have just attracted like some of the best minds, Like GameStop has Roaring Kitty. Okay, he gets more views, but is he literally like actually smarter or more knowledgeable, more experienced than our guys? I just don't. I don't think so. I don't think even close. So I feel like we got the cream of the crop, and feel very blessed by that. So, but anyways, Ham was on last night. Is spreading the news, spreading the love on that, and excellent stuff. Just excellent. So glad he got that out there. He shared this today, which was really, I find very interesting, from 2006 about options. And it says right here, the only response SEC really needs to fix a lot of what's going on is the options market making exemption is illegal as it stands. This for the market makers. Pedro always talks about this. It violates Section 17A of the Exchange Act of 1934 as it relates to the prompt and accurate settlement of equity transactions, risking the safety of the equity market investor for the sole purpose of creating a revenue stream for the options market maker is in violation of the law. The OMM exception is unnecessary, as responded to by Citadel when questioned by the SEC over this matter. This, my friends, is from 2006. Citadel getting in trouble for options, and they still haven't fixed it. So, we got to hope that just maybe the people in there now are going to do something about it. And speaking of which, I talked about this 2 nights ago, but when Paul Atkins got all the crap over the CAT system, which, I understood from his comment, but somebody reminded me that old Lou versus Wall Street didn't like the CAT system either. And he said they'd use it for evil. and called it Robot Godzilla. I'd forgotten about that. So I thought that was interesting as well. It's not that I'm saying the CAT system's bad or not. It is. It's just I'm playing devil's advocate because I tend to put more trust in the people we currently have in charge of our government, believing that massive change is coming in a good way through that, through Trump and his team. And I'm going to trust them until the end. So some of this stuff is going to take a lot of time to fix. GameStop had a huge run today. Well, good for GameStop. I'm happy for them. AC says no one has anyone as hilarious as Ham. That's true. That dog story sealed it. Brett, I honestly don't know the answer to your question, but I don't about the Mormon question. Moody says Megyn Kelly said Biden's aides were surprised the media bought the lie. It was fine so easily. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, there's so much going on, guys. There's so much going on with I'm not even going to be able to cover it all. I mean, the whole thing that happened with the South African president yesterday, the murder of the Jewish diplomat last night, the tax bill just got passed in the House, and now it's going back to the Senate. So it's been crazy news the last few days. But I'm staying focused tonight on the market because that's I think where we need to be paying our attention right now because things might be moving fast with what's going on. Pete T says Kitty Cat was for himself. Ham's helping retail get educated. You know, I mostly agree with that. I can't speak to his his actual thoughts, Roaring Kitty, but I will say that what they did last year was terrible. I thought it was really a setup to get GameStop a bunch of money and kind of screwed up a run, even though they did let it have a pretty nice squeeze there from 14 to 80, but still not what everybody wanted it to do. So whistleblower about the auto pen. My God, there's so much going on. Moody says, wasn't the CAT system developed under Gensler? It probably is designed to screw retail. And that's kind of my point, but at the same time, it could be a good system. Maybe it's just being used for evil and now could be used for good. So I'm guessing and hoping that that's what Paul Atkins is looking into and will let us know. All right. This was posted today as well. Here's the current insider holding of Finger. As you see, shares outstanding 57 million, insider shares almost 45 million, insider ownership 78%. I think that's a very good sign for us. That means retail, we are really dealing with 13 million real shares with all their trading. Folks, that doesn't add up. So this is just a good sign for us that so many shares are locked up. And anyways, insider holdings are usually a good sign when a stock is being shorted with a heavy short interest, heavy cost to borrow and all that the squeeze potential is very high. So just more and more numbers coming out about Finger with what's going on that just get me very excited. All right, so that's the little Finger update. Other than that, guys, who knows what's going to happen? Bam gave the best breakdown of what to expect in the trading for the next few days. And then Ham going to the Justice Department is obviously absolutely massive. So the next couple weeks could get very, very spicy. What's up, Greg Kirchner? Haven't been on in a while. Good to be back, brother. Good to see you. Brett says we can change the cat to the carburetor system and here for breakfast. I love that. Pete says per Ham, one in his group has 40 million shares of Finger. So there you go. Just proof of naked short selling. So, hey, SEC, if you're listening, because I know some people, throw my name out there sometimes. I remember when I was in Forbes 2 summers ago as somebody touting short squeezes. That was wild being in Forbes, seeing my name in there. But so SEC might be watching my stuff. If you're watching, if you got one person watching any of my lives, hey, that's some good proof that this stock is heavily naked shorted. Moody says, I'm not willing to assume the worst from Paul Atkins until I have proof he hasn't done it yet. And that's where I'm at. Give him the full 4 years. All right. Let's look at where we're looking in the markets right now, it's not pretty. Here's just Dario says, meanwhile, Japan's insurance and pension funds portfolios. Why? Because their bond yield just hit an all-time high. Their 40-year bond. My God, I mean, look at the way it's risen in the past few months. Now, remember, guys, we have a carry trade with Japan that could just melt our faces off in regards to our stock market if it starts to unwind. And this is causing a massive financial crisis starting in Japan. Just look at the way the bonds have been leaping the last couple weeks. I mean, this started in April. I'd say somewhere around here was probably Liberation Day, and you just see boom. And it's not just them. In the US, our 30-year bond yield is heading towards the highest level since 2007. This is not ideal for stocks or for realtors in the housing market. Bond market going rogue. And not only is the bond market freaking out right now, but listen, the last time we got this high, 2007, that's right before the crash. That's right as everything was unwinding. And based on how bad things have been, this could unwind much faster. We broke 5.1 today. That is some crazy high interest rates, friends. That's some crazy high interest rates. In fact, because of this, mortgage rates just hit 7.5%. So that's going to severely affect housing prices and the housing market. And we all know how that goes. That worked out so well for us in 2008, didn't it? Yeah, this is going to stop a lot of buying, a lot of lending. Liquidity is going to dry up. And the stock market's already been showing some weakness the last 2 days since this has really been taking off. In fact, it was considered that the tax bill being passed was supposed to be extremely bullish. They were hoping for a big jump the next day. Nope. Stock market barely up and then went down pretty red. Even that tax bill, when it gets fully passed by the Senate and signed into law by Trump, which might be like July, guys, we could already be in a massive downturn before that if the bonds keep doing what they're doing. This is a zone where they are starting to hope for. They're going to be looking for liquidity injections. So the Fed to start quantitative easing, treasury buybacks like Janet Yellen was doing, the kind of stuff we don't want to see because it just kicks the can down the road, but will help them from feeling the pain in the moment. It's going to be really interesting to see how Trump and the Fed navigate this, because the bonds being up this high make it very difficult for Powell and them to cut rates, because cutting rates is kind of like pouring water on the fire for the bonds to go nuts. And meanwhile, it's interesting that Trump has been screaming at Powell to cut rates. It makes me wonder, is Trump actually trying to cause the crash sooner than later? We've talked about it before, and that was a theory of mine. And now I'm starting to wonder if we're watching it play out. I mean, we have stories like this for Kirsten Shaughnessy, Sharon. Shorting is hot again. That shorting's so hot right now. It says the media completely ignores counterfeit shares flooding our financial markets, even in an article about shorting. The ETF shorts indicate hedge funds are increasingly bearish on consumer staples, on small caps, Taiwanese stocks and semiconductors, but above all, regional banks and biotechs. So they're upping their real shorts. All right. This isn't talking about naked shorting. This is the real shorts. And why? Because they're expecting that downturn to come. And they only up the real shorting when it's getting bad. The naked shorting helps them attack stocks, crush stocks, even in good times. It doesn't matter, good or bad. But the real shorting, that starts when it's looking ugly out there, my friend. It's looking ugly, even with the beer goggles on. What's that? Oh, okay. I saw a comment and it wasn't what I thought it was. Anyways, I'll keep going. Trump posted this yesterday. I'm giving very serious consideration to bringing Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac public. I'll be speaking with Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, Director Howard Lutnick, Polte, among others, will be making a decision in the near future. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are doing very well, throwing off a lot of cash, and the time would seem to be right. Stay tuned. How interesting is that? Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are federalized. They are the main home lenders in the United States. They offer government-backed loans, and now Trump wants to privatize them. That sounds kind of interesting. And finance law types, do Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac need a bailout? Could it be the housing market that starts this all off again? I mean, there's some really interesting stuff on this. I mean, so here's a little clip Finance Lot shared from 2000.
We're going to keep
just let me play it for you guys to see kind of some of the similarities of what we're going through.
growing, okay? And obviously, I'll say it: if you're growing, you're not in recession, right? I mean, we all know that.
In a matter of days, one of the pillars of Wall Street.
In March of 2008, the investment bank Bear Stearns ran out of cash and was acquired for $2 a share by J.P. Morgan Chase. The deal was backed by $30 billion in emergency guarantees from the Federal Reserve.
That was the time when the administration could have come in and put in place, various kinds of measures that would have reduced system risk.
The information I'm receiving from some entities is the end is not here, that there are other shoes to fall.
I've seen those investment banks working with the Fed and the SEC strengthen their liquidity, strengthen their capital positions. I get reports all the time. Our regulators are very vigilant.
On September 7th, 2008, Henry Paulson announced the federal takeover of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, two giant mortgage lenders on the brink of collapse.
Nothing about our actions today in any way reflects a changed view of the housing correction or the strength of other U.S. financial institutions.
2 days later, Lehman Brothers announced record losses of $3.2 billion, and its stock collapsed.
Guys ready? Big short number 2.
In September still came as a surprise. Clearly, there was stuff that as of September, major stuff that nobody knew about.
I think that's fair.
Bear Stearns was rated AAA like a month before it went bankrupt.
More likely A2.
A2.
Yeah.
Okay. A2 is still not bankrupt.
No. It's a high investment grade, solid investment grade rating. Lehman Brothers A2 within days of failing.
Good old Moody's
AIG
ratings.
AA within days
downgraded
of being bailed
US.
out. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac were AAA when they were rescued.
Interesting stuff, isn't it? Very interesting. I don't know, guys, but we're starting to see this record playing for the second time. Now, we have a lot more going for us this time, even despite the fact that the pain's still going to come. I still believe the pain's got to come. But last time when this happened, we had globalist neocon Bush at the beginning of it, and then Obama, the commie, came in and used it as an opportunity to grow our federal government unlike ever before and start us on this downturn we've been in the last 20 years of our culture, our country, you name it. That it started with the financial crisis while we used it to accelerate things. We have the opposite this time. We have the freedom fighter, Trump, the man we all really fought for, believe in, and I've seen such great things from already. He's going to get to oversee this one. And it's almost kind of a biblical coincidence where he gets to right the wrongs of the past. And that's what I'm hoping and praying is what will happen this time as this happens. But isn't that video kind of eerie? I mean, it definitely seems like very similar to what we're looking at. Brett reminds everybody, please let's get the likes over 100. Thank you, Brett. We got 226 watching. So if you guys just take 1 second, please like that video. I would greatly appreciate it, and subscribe if you're new. Thank you so much. Toe Cramp says, was just watching Florida housing market info. 25 to 40% overvalued in the top 10 cities, and 2 times the amount of homes on the market as 2 years ago, and on the market twice as long. Bubble? Can you say bubble? I think so. Moody asks, why does he want to privatize them? I actually don't know, Moody. I'll be completely honest with you. But I imagine there's some I'm just not thinking of. I'm going to research it more and get back to you on probably a next video. Uncle Andy says, Barney Frank looking disgusting, crashed the housing market in 2008, destroying the American people. Very, very disrespectful. I would say so. Barney, I can't do Barney Frank's voice. It's so crazy. He's like, they crashed the housing market, and that George Bush, I was in charge, and they let the banks go crazy. I don't know if that's even close, but Barney Frank is a crazy voice. Alan Krantz, hedge funds are shorting your shares of Finger and Bull, are giving you better returns of 5%, better than 8% cost of letting your shares out. Awesome. I mean, it's good to actually get that. Am I breaking up? Oh, no. Oh, no. Hold on a second. Can you guys hear? All right. It looks okay on the stream. You didn't downgrade nobody. Country says, I heard several years ago that ninja loans were back on the table 3 or 4 years ago. If that was true, housing could start this. Only word of mouth from working. The ninja loans was at no down payment. I can't remember what it all stood for, but dude, those were awful for the economy. I am breaking up. Oh man, that's not good. My sounds, nothing's changed. So a lot of people say it's fine. So just restart it. Okay. Maybe refresh and see if that works. Hopefully it's not mine. Big Sweet says, watch for the Philippines. Glad didn't squeeze while I was on the plane. How much would that suck? You don't want to pay for that, what, $15 Wi-Fi. That's very, very good, or barely good to trade on. Yeah, Hobbs, I'll talk about that later. No worries. Most people are saying it's okay, so maybe just refresh the stream, guys. Alan says, you get rid of toxic notes. This could be Trump's play. Listen, I played it on Charlie Payne's clip the other day as well, that remember, so many people, guys, have said that if there's a downturn, okay, if there's a massive downturn, it'll be good for the small caps and good for the shorted stocks. So I just lost almost 70 watchers. So I'm wondering if YouTube or whatever kind of broke me up for a lot of people to shake them out, because everybody who restarted seems fine, but we lost about 70 people in the stream in like 5 minutes. So that's usually a sign that people are running off. But anyways, that's fun. I love being the channel that has to go through that crap, but it is what it is, guys. I'm not going to disappear. I'll fight through it. Bam writes this today, and I thought this was a very good post, kind of where we're at and what they want to do, not that they'll pull it off. It says, pay attention. If they don't burn you out to move you out, they will invade you or blanket you with homeless fentanyl zombies. The end result's the same. He's talking about specifically, he's in San Francisco. He says, once they clear you out, they magically and very quickly move in with a solution funded by BlackRock and the other connected globalists. He's talking about the commercial real estate buyout by BlackRock that's been crazy lately, and also the housing market buyouts by BlackRock that have been going on for several years now for single-family homes. Do you really think they gutted San Francisco accidentally through poor policy, he asked. And the answer is obviously no. Watch those commercial buildings sell for pennies on the dollar, and yet another accidental real estate collapse crisis blamed on aggressive leverage and Wall Street derivatives. After the rezoning and retrofitting, they'll offer you a beautiful high-tech rental box to live in while you work inside the 15-minute city, or just live off UBI while eating gummies and gaming or watching Netflix. Strange that it's happening just before AI displaces jobs. So BAM, along with many others I've seen, have to or believe that the AI revolution is coming, and have you seen the latest commercials they're creating off the new Google update? It's wild. You can barely tell they're not real people, but there is a revolution coming. It's going to be like the Industrial Revolution with AI. And I'm not pessimistic on it, but it's going to be a major shift. And it makes perfect sense. Bam believes this. Several other people I know believe this, that they'd allow the market finally to tank, the economy to tank in on itself and try to usher in these 15-minute cities, that sort of thing. The good news is we have Trump in charge to oversee the crash. But can you imagine if Kamala had been in charge right now? They would completely destroy this economy, and they would use it to ruin our country once and for all, to probably starve us out until we all agreed to a new constitution and so on and so forth. Because the Constitution's the only thing that's protected us this far when we didn't have good leaders. And every other country falls, we're about to hit 250 years next year, and the reason is the Constitution. So that's what they want to do, but thankfully, I don't believe they're going to succeed. And I believe the miracle that saved us was the Trump election. So, Brett says it's that darn 56K modem again. Yeah, man, I got to upgrade my modem, huh? It's rough. Everybody who restarted says that it's fine now, so that's good news. Paulion says 71 people hate Barney Frank. Why do I have to bring him up? Only 71 hate him? I would figure it'd be like 71 million people hate him. But hey, maybe that's maybe only 71 people remember who he is anymore. Alan says Treasury SEC did say it's time for Main Street, now Wall Street. That's right. Besant's words exactly. Connect 85 says Mark Carney's company, the new PM of Canada, makes those little box homes to save the housing market. Surprise, surprise. There you go. Uncle Andy says if Kamal was in charge, I'm not sure I'd be able to even get out of bed every day. Oh, well, thank God we don't have to think about that. Peter Joy asks, what's a 15-minute city? 15-minute cities are where they design, they call it cities, but it's just living areas, but they design it so that you can't leave, basically, that everything you need is within a 15-minute city, but you're also policed to not really leave within 15 minutes in any direction. And it's all about control. And what they do is they pitch it as convenience, that everything you need in your life now for the rest of your life within 15 minutes. But they want to keep you trapped, and that's what it is. And there's a lot more to it, but that's a quick answer. Tokram says, I vote for BlackRock to be the first company to go to Mars, no helmets. I like that. Jerry D, I've never heard of it. Sorry. Alan says, a problem with California, every business are moving out, plus insurance companies, gas projected to $8, higher than Hawaii now. Is that for real? Gas is higher than Hawaii and California? That's insane. All right. Another sign of the times. Such a divergence between retail and professional investors has never happened before. Hedge funds and institutional investors have sold U.S. stocks at one of the fastest rates on record. So hedge funds are getting out, guys. At the same time, retail investors are buying the most ever. Who will give up first? And here you go. It's the hedge funds on the peaks and retail down here. Retail is snatching it up, which is interesting. Retail is regular people. Their 401ks keep buying pretty much no matter what. They're automated. And so that's a lot of the buying. A lot of the other buying is in meme stocks. And so listen, I want to believe retail is going to get a win, but I got to say that if the stock market does have the kind of crash correction I think it's going to have, 401ks aren't going to be very pretty. And so that's going to suck for a lot of people. But Vince, you trying to get me to do a conspiracy theory part 2 this weekend? I might do it as a Memorial Day special. We'll see. Roger says, Big JR and Brett grew up in Southeast Idaho. More Mormons and tumbleweeds there. Alice Fordham, gas is $2.49 where you live. Where do you live? North Dakota? That's awesome. It was $2.78 here the other day. It's $2.88 today. So not too bad. Gas $4.09 Eastern Washington, Northwest Florida $2.55. So yeah, I'm right outside Charlotte. So I'm in probably the most expensive area of North Carolina. We're still under $3. I mean, it's definitely down. It's definitely down. And so that's good. But here again, you guys, you see the people who know, who are in the know, they're getting out and then they're shorting. So they're preparing. They are preparing. They see what's happening in the bond markets. And they're, whether it's legit or not, a lot of this is they're probably wanting this to happen as well. A great deal of them. But again, we have the right guy in charge, and that's going to change everything. I love how everybody's throwing out their gas prices all of a sudden. AC wants a conspiracy theory channel in the Discord. Yeah, I could post it there. You guys can talk it all you want. Dave R says on Freddie and Fannie, it's from Obama and Biden. They put them in conservatorship mess and stole up that money. Oh, thank you, Dave. See, I didn't remember that. That makes a lot of sense. And that's why Trump would want to privatize them again. Very interesting. Very interesting. I didn't know that. I mean, I think I remembered a little bit on that, but I didn't remember tonight. Speaking of Trump, this is a pretty good sign to me, guys, of just like he's playing hardball. And this is what I expect him to do in our markets too. But I wanted to share this just because of the symbolism of it, of how he's just not letting them mess with us anymore. The DHS officially revoked Harvard's student exchange visitor program certification, meaning they can no longer enroll international students at the university, and any of Harvard's existing foreign students must transfer out or lose their legal status. This is massive. This is a bomb on Harvard, where they have like 20% of their students are foreign. And even if this gets challenged in court and he loses, in the meantime, there'll be several students who don't want to do this anymore and leave. They bail out, they go to another college. So Trump is going after Harvard hard. And the reason I brought it up tonight is because Harvard is where a lot of these guys originate. The Wall Street types, the globalists. This has been like their factory for, Harvard, Yale. It's all Ivy League, but Harvard is kind of the head of the snake. And by Trump doing this and really doubling down, it's just more proof to me that he's going to see this all the way through. He's not doing just a little bit here, a little bit there, and claiming victory. No, he's going after every single aspect of globalism. He really is. He's weeding it out completely in the U.S. And that tells me that he'll do the same with the markets going down. He'll do the right thing. Now, we got to remember that they also see and know more than we know. And so this is going to be a time where you're going to have to make a decision, because you might see Trump do things that you don't understand, might see things them do stuff. Once things get really volatile, they might do stuff where it feels like they're giving in. But in reality, what I believe is that they know a lot more than we know. And I think they have things set up in ways that we just can't even guess right now. And so I'm going to keep the trust in this administration until we get to the end of 4 years if they failed. That's how I'm going to play it. And so you're not going to see me criticizing every little thing, even if I disagree with it. I'm going to say, you know what? They must have a reason for it. And that's how we're going to play this. Because I gave up. I mean, I went all in to get these guys elected, and I have not been disappointed at all. And now that we're about to face what I really believe is the crisis that is really going to be the thing that helps everything get reset here. I think there's a reason they're trying to get this tax bill passed before all this happens, because the idea is, in my opinion, what we're about to go through economically is going to be like a dive bomb and a total crash. But with everything in place, whatever they have behind the scenes, the tax bill passed, Doge cuts, all that, the deregulation, what we're going to do is we're going to hit bottom and we're going to spring right out of it. And I have a belief that next year is our 250th anniversary of our nation, and it's also the midterms. I have a belief that we're going to be heading into the midterms with an economy that's rocketing back. And that's what I think is going to happen. So buckle up. It's going to get interesting and really good for our stocks. And let's see here. GT says gas is always up in the summer. That said, gas is cheaper versus last spring. Yeah, GT. In fact, nationwide average right now in gas, when adjusted for inflation of the last 5 years, it's actually officially the cheapest it's been in 20 years when you adjust for inflation. So it's pretty cool. Trump's already provided that. And I actually think it's going to get a lot cheaper. I really do. Dave R., as soon as Trump was announced president, look at the dates on the chart. You can see both Freddie and Fannie stocks going up. Really? I didn't notice that. I think a lot of the stocks went up, though, when he was announced. So that might just have been a market effect going up. Uncle Andy says, I've been investing in PAA stock for dividends for a while now. They do pipeline transport and storage of gas, so that's going to be good. Trump just passed, well, not passed. He signed another order about energy. To unleash more nuclear energy. So energy, guys, if Trump gets all this stuff passed into actual law. So for one thing, it helps. The executive orders do get the ball moving on a lot of this stuff. But if it actually gets passed by the Senate because they push it through Congress, and he gets a lot of these things codified into law, our energy is going to get so cheap so fast, guys. It's going to change everything. Tokram says, I can't wait for the day you say inflation. No one knows what that means. Like in the 1800s, where in the first 100 years of the U.S., 120 years, it was deflation every year because things just kept getting cheaper. That's how it's supposed to be. That's an economy for the people. And all that was before the Fed and income tax. Big surprise there. Last thing I wanted to share tonight, guys, is, this is the kind of thing that you guys know. I shared Scott Adams, his announcement the other day of his death, impending death, because he's in stage 4 cancer, getting really sick. Well, he shared a story today that really kind of choked me up a little bit. And it just shows you, well, this story shows you the character of our president, which is one of the other reasons I really trust President Trump. It's because I've never seen in my lifetime, now maybe Reagan, but I was pretty young during Reagan. I've never seen a president that there's stories like this about him, and there's stories like this about Trump all day long if you search for him. But anyways, I just want to share this whole clip because I think it's very touching, but it also is just very good reminder of who the man in our Oval Office that we voted in it really is. So here it is.
So yesterday I'm home, and I've been getting lots of people reaching out because of my recent health related news, and but I can't talk to everybody. Like it's just continual messages coming in, and I have to kind of pace myself. So I see a phone number coming in. Somebody's calling me from some number I don't recognize, something in Florida, and I sent it to voicemail. And a little bit later, I thought, I better check that voicemail and see if that was anything I need to deal with. And the first sentence in the transcription, because the phone gives you the text version of the voicemail as well. The first sentence is, "This is your favorite president." And I thought to myself, no. Did I just send the most important person in the world to voicemail? And it turns out that I had. It was Trump, and he was just calling to check in. Now he left a semi-lengthy little voicemail, just say he was checking on me, heard about my health situation, and then he says, you can call me back on this number. Now, obviously, I don't call him back, right? Because that would just be ridiculous. It just was a nice thing for him to say, because he called me. you could call me back on this number. So I didn't call him back on that number because I thought I'd, it's not like he's sitting at the Resolute desk waiting for my call. I thought that whatever it is he's doing has got to be more important, than randomly taking a call from me. So I don't call him back. Hours go by. It's the afternoon, same day. It's the afternoon. And all of a sudden another call comes through, also from Florida. And I thought to myself, no fucking way. There's no way he's calling me again. And I answer it, and it's Trump. And apparently he'd heard of my situation, and he had lots of questions. I won't get into the details of our conversation because that would be inappropriate. But he was just checking on me. And he had, he wanted to make sure that I was getting everything I needed. And that was it. But at the end, the strangest thing happened at the end. At the end of the call, when he found out, the situation was kind of dire, and I was still checking out some things that might help. He said, "If you need anything, I'll make it happen." And he meant it. He was completely aware of our, let's say, parallel journeys from 2015. He mentioned it. And it was just the most incredible, weird, hard to understand situation. But boy, was it fun. So anyway, that's my story. And I'm sticking to it. All right.
Man, I don't know about you guys, but I have a love for Scott Adams. It's hard seeing him so weak, and you could see how he was getting choked up telling the story. But listen, him and Trump aren't friends. I don't even think they know each other in person, but Trump knows that Scott was a big fan and a supporter over the years. And to reach out like that and to call back, the president of the United States calls, goes to voicemail, and then calls back a few hours later. I mean, that's character. That's character, because we're talking the busiest, most important man in the world taking his time out to just make sure that this other guy is, who's beloved on social media and stuff, is taken care of. So that's how I feel so confident, guys. People ask me all the time, like, oh, you're such a blind Trump supporter, you'll support him through anything. Well, and the truth is, in some ways, yeah, I'm at that point now, and I don't even care to admit it. But it wasn't overnight. Trump earned that from me. He earned it from me. He earned it by being the first term, the best president I've ever had, who finally was fighting for me. He earned it by fighting back after having it stolen. He earned it from me by showing me he fights after being shot at, and he earned it over and over and over again. And I've never had any regrets the more I've trusted Trump. And so when people get upset about, oh, the Epstein files haven't been released, I'm like, I don't care. Trump said it would happen. Oh, Paul Atkins is getting rid of the CAT system. I don't care. Trump picked him, and that's how I feel. I really legitimately feel that way. And I will feel about that way until the trust is broken. Because once somebody's earned my trust, it's very hard to break it. I'm very loyal. And Scott Adams is somebody who earned my trust, intellectually. His writings, his way of breaking things down, and Scott and I are very, very apart on a lot of things. Scott's an agnostic. I'm a devout Christian. We're very, very different in many ways. We've lived our lives very different, but it doesn't mean the fact I still have a great admiration for Scott. And I think he's one of the most brilliant men alive. And he's positively impacted my life majorly. And so when I see Trump do something like this to a man that 2 days ago, I'm choked up because Scott announces he's dying, and I'm going to lose somebody I really look up to. So again, it's like these worlds keep colliding for me, and Trump just constantly is one of the ones bringing that in, colliding those worlds for me, and just bolstering my trust. So, whatever comes, guys, in the markets, whatever comes in the economy, whatever we're headed for, whatever evil they had planned for us, whatever the hedge funds had planned, whatever the globalists had planned, all of that stuff, I'm not scared, because we won. We won. We got the right people in, because it's not just Trump anymore. It's, look at the people around him. RFK Jr., man of integrity. JD Vance, man of integrity. I mean, the list goes on. Kash Patel. He's just surrounded himself with great people. And I really do believe that there's something miraculous and special going to happen, despite no matter what we navigate through. And that's why I'm also not afraid. I'm not afraid at all. Not even a little bit of what's coming. I'm excited. I'm really excited. So, anyways, Drop TF said, do they elaborate on why they're getting rid of the couch system? First of all, they're not getting rid of it. That is not what was said. They are evaluating it to make sure it's what it's supposed to be. And they're also investigating the fact that it's been used to steal retail investors' information. Okay, so that's what's really going on. Drop TF. If it turns out to be bad, then they'll get rid of it. But that's not what they said they're doing. They're just evaluating it right now, and that's what everybody freaked out about. Which I'm like, that's perfectly understandable. Hero says, unbelievable how much President Trump has done in just over 200 days. It's just over 100 days. Yeah, I know, Hero. It's unbelievable. The man doesn't stop. And this is the one thing about Trump that keeps being apparent. He loves people. But he hates injustice against people. And I'm sorry, but that's somebody I want as a leader. I really do. Moody got his book from the Amazon yesterday. Didn't start it. Scott's book, the one I talked about. Oh man, it's so good. It's so good. It's one I reread every couple years. Alan says, guys, being retired, if I lose all my money, so what? As long as I can stand up, use my hand and brain, I'll be good. It's not what you want, it's what you have. Family, friends, good neighbors. Amen to that. Amen to that. Vince is reminding everybody. All right. So yeah, guys, please like, subscribe. And if you want to get in more, you can join. And on YouTube, you can join, or through the Patreon link, you can join. Get into the Discord, which is 24/7. And also get on the members lives, which, like last night, if you guys notice my voice is a little gone, it's because last night's live was 2 hours, and it was a members live, and it was a lot of fun. We went really deep dive some stuff. So anyways, if you guys won't mind taking the time just to do that, I greatly appreciate it. Well, guys, we are heading into Memorial Day weekend. I plan on resting, getting caught up on rest. I encourage you guys to do the same. If anything crazy happens, I will get on to be live emergency wise. But other than that, I will be taking most of the weekend off. You guys can probably expect to see me Monday. Yeah, I might take Sunday off. I might jump on Sunday if I have time. If I just have some extra time and have something to talk about. But Vince wants another conspiracy live like last night. So we'll see. We might do a part 2. There's always more to talk about. I'll have to talk to Eric, see if he's available. But anyways, on that note, guys, hey, thank you to all the veterans. It is Memorial Day. So if you're a veteran, thank you so much. And obviously Memorial Day is about remembering the lost, but I still want to, thank you for serving to the veterans and the troops and giving us the greatest country in the world history, and which is only going to get better, in my opinion. The best is yet to come. MRTKOS, is that the same Scott Adams that wrote How to Fail at Almost Everything? Yes, it is. Yeah. And that is why, one of the main reasons why I feel such an attachment to the man, because that book changed my life in many good ways. But anyways, listen, love you guys. So appreciate you for supporting the show, making it what it is, as much as it has become. So I greatly appreciate you guys, especially the members, for the support. You guys are the absolute best. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Spend some time with friends and family, have some fun, get some sun, take care of yourselves, and let's just pray good things are coming, especially in Finger, sooner than later. And so we can all maybe have a really good summer as maybe the economy tanks. So we'll see what happens. But God bless you guys. Let's end in a prayer. All right. So, Heavenly Father, thank you for today. Thank you for this weekend. Thank you for our troops and this country. We are so blessed. Thank you that we have a president who loves this country and the people of this country, and is doing the right things for us, Lord, and all the other people up there. Pray protection for him. Pray wisdom for him. Pray protection of our troops, especially the ones overseas. And God, we pray for peace in the earth. I mean, especially, God, just ends to the Gaza war, ends to the Ukraine war, ends to the senseless violence that we saw like last night in the shooting. There's just no room for that. So I pray that justice comes and brings with it peace. And so bless everybody here. God, I pray for Candace Morrison's mother-in-law, that you would just heal her. Pray for Thomas Dubois. Pray for Mike's back, Jenny L, and so many others that have needed healing or might need it that I don't know of. Bless them and their bodies, and bless anybody who needs just whatever, God, whether it's family issues, relationship issues, jobs, finances, whatever. Pray a blessing over everybody watching, that God, they would receive just the way out and to a better place, and the answers and miracles and all the stuff you're capable of doing. So we love you and thank you in Jesus' name. And everybody said amen. Hallelujah. Bless you guys. MRTKO. Oh man. Thank you for your super chat. $20. He says, thank you for your time. You're so welcome. Thank you, MRTKO. I greatly appreciate it. All right. You guys have an awesome night. God bless you all. And I will see you all at the end of the weekend, unless I'm on sooner for something crazy. We'll see. But God bless you guys. See everybody else in the Discord until I'm back on live. Take care. Good night.